Alright, today we'll talk about 12-volt battery. So this is a topic I have never talked about because I own a Tesla. I will come back to that, by the way. But I see in many different EV groups that cars, let's say the e-Golf, especially the i3, Ioniq from time to time, e-tron, many EVs, they get problem with 12-volt battery going low. And this car, the MZ, this ZS EV is no different. So it also from time to time also goes low. So I will show you what happens, explain a little bit why it happens, and then maybe show you a trick what you can do in your car, in your whatever EV. Because I found a trick that works with the MG, so it might work with your car also. So to explain a little bit, every car has a 12-volt battery, even an EV, because we have lights and screen and all the motors for the windows, the panorama roof, everything runs on 12-volt battery. That's just the way it is, as industry standard. We have, of course, a big high voltage battery, so we could technically run everything on the high voltage battery, but then someone has to make parts that works on the high voltage, so it's way easier and cheaper to use whatever is already existing in the market. So that's why we need a 12-volt battery. In a fossil car, the 12-volt battery is being charged by the alternator once you start the engine. So there's the alternator steals some of that physical energy and then makes electricity. But in an EV, there is no alternator. So what happens there is that there is a DC-DC converter that converts the high voltage 400 volt into 12 volt and charges the 12-volt battery. So let's check it out, by the way. I have this cool app. I think it's only in Thailand. So there's an app for the MG, and I can choose to check the status. Just kidding. The status. So now it communicates with the car, and you see that it checks various parameters. It also checks voltage. So right now the voltage is at 13 volt. So that's good. It's good voltage. Now we will try to bring the voltage down a little bit by using the 12-volt battery. So I could just stand here and scan it. Let's recheck again. Because what happens now is that the car is active on the 12-volt system, but it's not charging the 12-volt battery from the high voltage. And let me see. Yeah, now you see, now it's suddenly 12.9 volt. Maybe just a coincidence. If you just keep the thing active, but I think it's a faster way to do it. We can try to start some stuff inside the car. Let me see. Okay, still okay. Let's try to speed up things a little bit. Okay. Because if shit, wrong side. I always forget this. We're in Thailand. I prefer driving on the right side of the road. All right, anyway. Okay, so if we fire up the car, now if you press the brake and press start, then it will start the converter. Okay, now the radio's on. Now you see that the car is not running. Okay, if we switch off the radio, if we just have the screen active, that should help. We could also, of course, have it on full blast. But I know that one doesn't take too much power. What about turning on the fan? Oh yeah, of course. We cannot run the fan right now. I had to find a trick to use some 12 volt somehow. I'm not sure how to do it. So, this is usually not the problem. The 12 volt battery doesn't simply run out just like that. Let me recheck again, by the way. Let me see. We have to try to draw some power. Oh, okay, there you go. It's going there, you see. Now it's down to 12.8 volt. So if we kept going, then the voltage will be, I guess, too low. But let me show you something. All right, now what happens if you fire up the car? Okay, when you start the car, just do it. Let's not do it too long. Okay. Yeah, it says ready now. Now they're very important. Okay, it says ready, because if you now check again, the DC-DC converter kicks in and charges the battery. There you go, 14.5 volt. So now it's charging the battery like it should be. If I turn off the car again, and then let's see what happens. We can check the status. We check again. Now it charged only for a split second, and then it shouldn't be. Yeah, well, it's 13. Is it really that fast? Really? Okay, I think it's just because we charged briefly. But let's get out of the car. So back to the trick. Okay, let's check again. So it was 13.5 volt, right? Yeah, now, yeah, you see, we went down to 12.9 again. It was just the DC-DC converter that had a little lag, I guess. So now it's kind of low-ish, right? So the trick is that it was someone else in Thailand who found out that what you can do is, if you start preconditioning, oh, it's not locked. Well, I guess we can lock the car. It doesn't matter really. Let's lock the car. The trick is that if you start preconditioning, then the 12 volt, the converter will start. And also, so to explain, the fans runs on 12 volt, but the air conditioning or the heater runs on the high voltage battery. So I guess car manufacturers, they figured out that, okay, if the car is preheating or preconditioning or whatever, then the fans will be running. That sucks some power, so then we want to charge up the 12 volt battery. So let's see now, if we do this, this car can only pre-cool, it doesn't have heater. Okay. Now it sends the command, and then we should hear the air conditioning. It should go at full blast. Oh yes. Yeah, okay, so yeah, the feature in the MG is that it only runs for 10 minutes, but at full blast, so that should be good enough. Okay, but now let's check the car status. And you will see that suddenly it's at 14 volt. So the whole clue with this video is that you can try this with your car, but your EV, whatever, from what I know, doesn't display the 12 volt in the app or inside the car. So I guess you have to measure it yourself and then do the trick and see if it works for your car. So this might be a workaround. So for example, if you're on vacation and you are afraid that your car will run low on 12 volt, you can do that. Or if I don't know what the driving habits is, that some people get the problem with 12 volt low. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think. Try that trick with your car. See if it works or not. Maybe that's one workaround, to precondition the car via the app and to keep the 12 volt topped up so you won't get any problems. But okay, I mentioned Tesla. Tesla does not have this problem, but Tesla will continuously monitor the 12 volt and kick in the converter for you. You don't have to worry about that. And then in the Koreans, the Kona, Ioniq, whatever, then you have to enable it. But I wonder, why the heck do you have to enable it? It should be enabled by default and you shouldn't be able to disable it at all. And then as for other car manufacturers like this one and the e-Golf and especially the i3, the i3 gets so many 12 volt problems. Then why couldn't they just implement a similar thing, or at least reprogram it somehow so that whenever you use 12 volts for the heater or whatever, then charge up the 12 volt battery. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.